There's something about you. They used to call me unaware.
We fall apart. You break my heart. I say I don't need you anymore. I'm all alone. Pick up the phone. I call and we start
What the fuck is this song? What's up, Jump House? Perfect intro song. We've done it. We found it. Alki, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Yo, this is low-key a banger, though. Holy shit. Alright, let's get into it. How is everybody doing today? I hope you are well. Welcome to Wednesday. Another beautiful day out here in very cold and snowy Russia. Before we start off, a couple of disclaimers. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a trader trading my own shit. All of the tools that I use on stream, they can be found at the bapigindicator.com website. These guys make the best mathematics-based indicators on TradingView. They also have a bunch of free tools available, so go check them out. There's a referral in the description of the stream. Also, we have a Discord available. Come join us there. Come talk about your positions, spot some occurrences, and hopefully learn something new. Get away from that world of TA lines and triangles and kindergarten drawings. I also have a Twitch available. Come follow me there. All right, let's take a look at the markets. How did the world do? Starting off in Australia, a little bit of a down day. Nothing too significant to talk about. Nothing has changed since yesterday. Volatility still picking up. Entropy is going lower for the third day, giving you a little bit more edge, suggesting that the market is becoming less efficient. MOM is expanding to the downside here as R squared is expanding as well, and SSR is picking up. Certainly not a good setup, as we are now printing reds on the XCM as well. As long as these things persist, I'm looking for the big moves to come to the downside, especially as you're expanding the HVP. One thing that you heard me harp on is the metric that a lot of markets seem to share. A lot of the world indices currently share a very low HVP reading. On some of them, it has started rising. This is very significant to me, as I would be expecting very high volatility across all markets over the next year or so. I know that's a little bit far out. It's very difficult to structure trades on something like this, but certainly something that you guys should be aware of. Let's move on to Germany. Germany, we see entropy going lower today. Wow, not a good stance, as well as the XCM is now printing reds. Volatility still expanding on daily as well as weekly, coming off a very, very low reading. Certainly not good, especially if this XCM on the weekly flips red as well. R squared is moving down on the MOM here, suggesting we shouldn't be paying too much attention to the reading here. But as long as this persists, I am looking for more downside on this as well. All right, let's take a look at Russia. Russia still struggling. Wow. Entropy in full swing down at this point. Not very good. The next thing we'll be looking at for Russia is for this market to start becoming more random and potentially give us a chance to call this immediate move over at least. Certainly wouldn't want to be short here, as you are below the 1% cone. You have a 98% chance of staying within the cone. Not that it can't happen. You can get 6.64 heads in a row, but it's just extremely unlikely, especially with the volatility reading this high. Let's take a look at the weekly on Russia's as well. Yeah, the weekly the weekly would suggest more volatility over a longer period of time. So let's see if we can go for a little bit of a cool off on the daily, maybe reset, and then start something new on the weekly. Not nice for the motherland. MOX, very, very similar, expanding that HVP, probably on weekly very low as well. Yes, low and rising, and entropy now moving down on weekly. Wow, this is likely to be a pretty significant down move on weekly entropy. That's that's going to take a very long period of time. We've had instances obviously where it was very short-lived, such as here and here, although it did give you a pretty significant move here of 10% for an index that's decent across what is it, 3-4 weeks. Yeah, not a nice stance for Russia at this time. SSR moving up as well. Mom did give you a cross up, but the R squared is moving down on it. How is UK doing? Vlad, do you know Victor Jones? Yeah, but I saw the video today of of them doing their nonsense that was posted in Discord. That shit was so fucking funny. Essentially, this guy on the Tasty platform got upset at at Unk for trying to provide some mathematics, which he doesn't seem to think are as important or as what would you say, as flashy as his words are. Even though they are the basis for probabilities, we can determine what is fact, what is fiction using mathematical proofs. And yeah, I hope he has you on. I hope he has you on, because man, that is a stream that I would like to watch and restream. Oh my god, yeah, that was ridiculous. All right, UK 100 also rising volatility here on the weekly as well. Very low reading, likely to be a very volatile 2022. I think we are seeing the start of that now with this block here. XCM's printing reds. Mom is moving to the downside and is negative, and the R squared is expanding on it. Not a nice stance if this persists. Likely more downside to come, although this the entropy is moving up on it, suggesting it's getting a little bit more random. The market's becoming more efficient, and you won't have as much of an edge trading this as far as trading goes. All right, let's take a look at China. Weekly volatility is at a 40 read. It's right in the middle. It could go either way. It could go either way. I don't want to make any calls here. Let's take a look, see at the other indicators. Not much. As long as the XCM is printing greens and it's above the due, I would expect the big moves to come to the upside on the weekly, on the daily as well. Entropy now moving down on the daily, very low HVP read, likely some volatility over the next 120 days. That's a very rough metric for the new people here. There's no kind of math or stats behind it. It's just something that I give myself as time on a trade to let the distribution play out. SSR moving up on this move down, doesn't have much room, so unlikely to persist in this fashion for very long. This would coincide with the more up that we're looking for in China A50. HSI, not so good. Not so good. Continuing its down move. Yesterday we were covering this. It didn't have that much of a move yesterday, but some things that were of note did happen. The SSR started picking up from a very low point. We've been shutting out this for a while. As long as this persists, I'm looking for immediate downside in HSI. Also being below the due and the XCM printing reds, we should be expecting the big moves to come to the downside. Volatility is expanding as well. Let's take a look at Japan. Yeah, very high volatility environment. I would like to see the IV30 on this. There's probably an opportunity to go short some options. Usually the way I would structure these trades, and you will likely see me structure these trades in the future like this off of the HVP. Actually, let's check the weekly as well. Weekly is rising, but maybe we get a chance on a 45-day time frame, not time frame in terms of the TradingView time frame, but a 45-day trade where we go shorting some options and then let them go 21 days in 21 days. So go 45 days out and let them go in 21 days. Something like this. Go to the 0 bar. Let's set this to maybe 70%. This number is arbitrary. It just matters on what kind of odds you're willing to take on a trade, essentially. My plan here would be to short calls and puts about 45 days out. All right. Something like this. I'm gonna keep this up on this chart just so that we can watch this play out over the course of the next 45 days, and I would be letting them go in 21 days. So that's what we're looking for, just this time period here. Let's see if that would work. All right, let's move on to Nikkei. Nikkei, you got declining volatility here on the daily and kind of rising on the weekly. Not making it too easy. I don't want to be making any assumptions on this. If anything, I would assume higher volatility in the future. Not any sort of extreme, not printing zeros. Not much to say here. We should be expecting the big moves to come to the downside as long as the XEM is printing reds and it's below the due. Not much on the SSR as it's going into some sort of mean reversion. Let's move on. Is the stream choppy for you, Weebos? I hope not. I sure hope not. Let me see if I got any drop frames. No, it says quality's good on my end. Maybe buy a new computer. If people in the chat, if you could confirm whether the stream is choppy or not, that would be very appreciated. And that was the market open. Let's see how the US indices opened up today. Yesterday you saw me buying puts at the market open just to cover against my long deltas. Let's see if those worked out. I honestly hope not, because I'd rather be a long. The stream is fine. Perfect. Thank you very much. I'd rather be dummy long on assets than covered or in cash, obviously. Not a good feeling, but hey, when math says to do something, we don't argue with it. Dow Jones, you are still expanding volatility here on the daily, on the weekly as well. Very low read. I just want to be clear, the XCM on the weekly is still positive here. Mom did give you a cross up as well, and the SSR is doing some sort of mean reversion. Nothing too much to worry about on the weekly. It was more so the daily that I was concerned. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. On the weekly, I am worried about volatility, but I'm worried about it over a very long period of time. So it's not a tradable event for me. It's just something that I'm keeping on my radar. I'm expecting more occurrences of high volatility on the daily off of that as we just zoom in a little bit. All right, HVP still expanding, entropy moving down. As you are moving down in price, if we get a flip of the XCM, that's certainly not going to be very good. And the SSR moving up on a move down, suggesting that as long as this persists, we should be looking for immediate downside here. Not nice at all. Let's hope it turns around. S&P 500, very similar stance where you have entropy now declining, although it has just started declining. I want to be clear, there have been occurrences of it starting to decline and us not getting much juice on it. We don't get to predict how much juice, well, we don't get to predict anything really. We can make assumptions, we can make observations, but yeah, I just want to be clear on that. HVP is rising. Mom has gone negative. R squared is relatively flat, but it looks like it's been moving up over a period of time. and the SSR is moving up as well. Not a good stance, especially if you get a close below the do and the XCM flips red. That's gonna put more credibility onto being covered for the time being. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. Yeah, Nasdaq looking much worse. This is what I'm afraid of. Rising volatility, entropy now moving lower, XCM is printing reds. We should be expecting big moves to come to the downside. MOM is negative, R squared expanding, and SSR is picking up. That's as long as this persists, I'm expecting downside. There's just no other way about it. What can we expect? What is in the range of probabilities? Let's just set this to the 1 bar. This is the cone over the next 59 days. So this is this is within the range of probabilities. For example, in 60 days, 13,363 is within the range of probabilities. Similarly, 21,000 is within the range of probabilities as well. I know that, like, for example, when when I'm talking to friends about this, when I'm describing, hey, like, we can't actually gain probabilities on some stuff, like we can't actually say what can happen, they seem to shake their heads because they don't find this too useful, because it's such a wide range of things. Certainly we can make bets on it on options, but I just how do I want to phrase this? This is essentially what's possible, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It doesn't mean that I'm looking for 13,000. To me, this is extremely useful, as a lot of the what would you say, the TA noobs, all they expect is 1,000% returns over and over and over again. Doge to $1. How many times have we heard that? Trader Jeremy, good morning. Unk Pow Pow, those VXX calls, yeah, man, hopefully they're printing. To me, this helps me manage my expectations, and therefore it makes me it allows me to make more sound decisions, and give me some sense, and not look for moon or doom. This is what's possible. Let's see what we get. Certainly if we get down to the 1%, I'll start taking chances. Doesn't mean you can't go lower. You can get more than 6 heads in a row. All right, let's take a look at the cryptos. Set this back a little bit. Yeah, for US indices, higher volatility on the daily as that's picking up currently, higher volatility on the weekly as that's picking up currently. Look for the SSR to do something new on the weekly. This is going to take some time, but nevertheless, it is important. Not a good look right now. Not a good look. Let's see how the day closes too. That's going to be of note. Cryptos, a little bit of a pump. Not much. Most of that has sold off. What can we expect for Bitcoin today? Well, let's actually cover it in the same way we do the other stuff, just for consistency. You are going lower on entropy, and also I do have the 95 filter set on the entropy. This is geared more towards significant price changes rather than catching drift. So that's what I am looking for. This is going lower currently. Not a good look, as the XCM is negative here. We should be expecting the big moves to come to the downside. Rising volatility, SSR not giving you any sort of trending move here as of yet. More mean reversion, and the R squared on MOM is pretty damn low, so I'm going to discount it for the time being. As long as this persists, I am looking for more downside. Let's see if the SSR can start something new. That'll give us a hint of what's to come in the immediate future. Let's take a look at the weekly on it as well. Yeah, weekly XCM now printing reds as well. HVP is declining, though, to be fair. HVP is declining. So what we could see on something like this is a very small amount of rise in the daily as it continues to decline on the weekly, and then more periods of low volatility. We will have to wait and see if that actually does occur, but we'll just keep an eye out on that. Not a good stance so far. Ethereum not faring well also, as the entropy is now moving lower. This is kind of getting scary. This is kind of getting scary. HVP rising. Let's see on the weekly. Weekly HVP read is very low as well. Should be expecting the big moves to come to the downside. Not nice. Not nice at all. Let's take a look at some probabilities before we move on to the individual stuff. So we did see an occurrence on the 1% cone. Let me see here. You know, when Tone Vase was drawing triangles. What's this? Is this Bitcoin? Yeah. Is this daily? Yeah. Why is it so far? Why is it so far? I had it set on this. Oh, I have sample period of 200. Okay, I changed my sample period to see some of the short-term stuff on my own. We're gonna have to discount all the assumptions for the cone that we made in the start of this video, just because we usually have it on the 400, so we should be consistent in that manner and continue that. But I don't think we've seen anything on the cone on the indices, did we? Sorry, bear with me for just 1 second here. Yeah, maybe Russia. Maybe Russia. All right. Keep that in mind. If you're looking at probabilities, if if you're employing any of the tools, you shouldn't change the settings to fit your assumptions, because then you're just kind of TAifying it. I think Anton was talking about this in the Discord. Can you add MA to historical volatility long one to have an idea of how much difference? Like, can you add 300 SMA to HVE? Yeah, I don't have the HVE up. Let me see. This is line thickness. No, 30 annual 365. That's fine. Oh. Okay, so the moving average is going to take into account the last 300 samples. You can see 30 SMA, 300 SMA, 400 SMA of EWMA. Add extra one just to use the one it has. Or just, okay. All right. So yeah, currently volatility is under the 300-day average, but it is sure getting close to it. It's right on it. It's right on it. Add SMA to chart. Yeah, no. I'm not adding SMAs to chart. Sorry, guys. All right. Yeah, currently it is under the 300. Maybe let's add another one here. Let me see. Do I have to? No, I don't have to. It's Jesus. Let's take a look at it this way. OMG ponies, welcome. There we go. All right, this is the 30 versus the 300. This is the 30 versus the 300. So over a longer period, we do see the volatility being under the 300, but over the 30. And rising. To me, that's pretty damn significant. Again, we don't get to call how much volatility there will be. We just get to make assumptions, for example, whether it's low or high, and then we can bet in the other direction on volatility. Yeah, rising on the 30, but still under 300. Let's see the same for Ethereum. Yes, it is the same for Ethereum. Let's check the totals. Let's check the totals while we're here. Yeah, total entropy in full downswing. Not nice. You, for what it's worth, you are on the 5% coin here. I also bought SQQQ calls. All the Wall Street bets guys got to you, hey, with their puts. Hey, fair enough, man. I'm covered. I think as long as the conditions persist, I think we have to expect downside for the time being, at least. Though we don't know how low it can go, but if we get to some crazy percentage, certainly we can start taking chances again. Or if the conditions change, then it would make sense to take some chances. But for now, certainly not looking too hot. I know that Marky will be mad at me for saying that, but hey, it is what it is. I don't get to decide the math. Entropy moving lower on the total market cap, so expect the altcoins and the rest of the stuff to continue bleeding out as long as that persists. The SSR is suggesting this is some sort of mean reversion, and the MOM is negative with the R squared expanding as well. Certainly not a nice stance. You are on the 5% cone. It would be reasonable to take a chance here, but obviously not with 100% of my portfolio, just with some. Actually, I think at one point Bali was mentioning that there's a way to calculate how much of your portfolio you should allocate on the cone itself so that you don't get FOMO. Certainly come follow us in Discord for those types of insights. Let's take a look at total 2 as well. This is total X BTC. Yeah, entropy moving lower, volatility moving up, mom's negative, and the SSR very similar stance. It's the same conditions. And let's take a look at total 3 for all the shitcoins. Yeah, very similar stance on all of them. This is kind of concerning. All right. Let's hope we can all become moon boys soon. Let's take a look at the currencies. Dixie, we have been positive on Dixie for quite a while, as you know, the XCM has been printing greens and it is above the due. Also, there is let me turn the background signal on so that the people that are familiar with the HVP can sort of see where we were getting those signals on there as well. there was extremely low volatility in Dixie, in markets, and in currencies, in the indices and in the currencies. We're starting to see that now. 30 crossed the 365, or excuse me, the 300 as well. Certainly certainly moving up towards that 5% cone. Still putting in up moves, entropy still going lower. If you are trading currencies, I think most of the juice has been had on this trade, although I don't get to decide. Like it's not my words. You are the 5% cone. It would make sense to take some off if you are long this. Certainly we can get to the 1% cone, and we can even go to a higher percentage. We just have to wait and see for that to occur. So far I am still expecting the big moves to come to the upside. USD CAD, the old shitcoin that I was a part of, also moving up. US dollar is just on a tear. SSR moving up, getting close to the outside of the band. Entropy moving lower still. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. The ruble shitcoin, more random than the other two. Mom is moving up but still negative, and the SSR, wow, SSR has been doing mean reversion for a long time. That's pretty crazy, actually. That's pretty crazy. SSR now moving up. Great British Pound, yes, let's take a look at that. USD GBP, very low HVP, likely to start something new. Should be expecting the big moves to come to the upside. Certainly more random than, for example, the Dixie is, but nevertheless positive. What are the rates and notes saying? Let's take a look at rates. Has anything significant happened? No. Fed meeting was yesterday. Seems like a nothing burger move. We still have the same concern about the 20s 30s being inverted. I know that's not the traditional kind of inversion that all the CNBC crazy people. Oh, something today too. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Another Fed meeting today. Okay, gotcha. I was making fun of I think it was Little Chubb yesterday for providing me with the wrong dates, but maybe he was just talking about the other one. Big meeting today. Okay, so they had the junior meeting yesterday and then the big meeting today. Okay, let's see how they can put their words to use. Let's see how powerful their words are. Certainly nothing significant has happened since we've been looking at these. They've stayed mostly flat, which is not good. Like, if especially as everybody's gone crazy about inflation, you know, we've seen a year of relatively flat rates with 20s 30s now being inverted, suggesting some trouble way far out. We have seen the low end, or excuse me, the short end of the curve certainly rise. It is much more who would you say, it's not much more controlled. It's much more reactive to the Federal Reserve words. It's much more reactive to the Federal, because the mechanism by which they adjust rates is the Fed funds rate, right? Like that's the green one all the way down there. So essentially they're thinking, oh, excuse me, this is the 2-year rates. So their thinking is that if they can move a rate on which nobody borrows on, or on which very little economic activity gets done, the rest of them should follow. Like that's their theory of how the system works, right? But you don't end up doing anything like mechanical. You're not going all the way out here and buying shit, and if you are, the amount of other people buying shit on the long end of the curve is so much greater than what the Fed does that it moves them by maybe 0.5%, if that. Let's take a look at the Federal Reserve calendar. Again, these are not, I want to be very clear, these are not my words. These are, I'm mostly referring to, for example, what Richard Werner has been studying, a fantastic economist that is into doing empirical tests and studies on the banking system. I would highly recommend you guys go watch him. and also Jeffrey Snyder at AIP, and what's the other guy's name? Emil Kalinowski. Go check them out if you are interested in macroeconomic analysis, and just people that use more data than the general narratives that people seem to use. I would highly recommend those two. I do my best to keep up with them. I think they're worth a watch. Coronavirus and CARES Act before the Committee on Financial Services, U.S. House of Representatives. Okay, so it's in front of U.S. House of Representatives. CP commercial paper, beige book. I don't know what beige book is. Foreign exchange rates and selected interest rates. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. I will. Looks like J Powell is testifying. Powerful words. Finance. Strong GBP benefits me personally. I charge GBP, spend euro. Okay, gotcha. Let's take a look at GBP EUR as long as you are here. Getting more random. Certainly we shouldn't be expecting much more of a move here from an entropy perspective, although I want to be specific. You can go lower on rising entropy. That's not, entropy is not directional. It's just suggesting the market is getting more efficient, so your trading edge might be gone. As far as trades go, I would be out of the trade. If you want to have exposure, that's perfectly reasonable. SSR moving up. Let's see how the day closes. If it closes as a down day with the SSR moving up, I would be expecting more downside in the near term. Let me, if you guys will allow me, to set this to set this back to the HVP, just so that we keep it consistent for the viewers and myself as well. I would very much appreciate that. That was not the one that I had on. All right, I had some settings on. 1 second. 1 second, please. Oh God. There we go. Still rising volatility, for what it's worth. Can go higher. I certainly wouldn't want to bet on higher volatility here. I wouldn't want to bet on higher volatility here as it is at a 70 read. I think the time to do that was over here, although we can go higher on that. Let's take a look at the weekly as well. Wow, weekly volatility is very low. So depending on what your timing is, we could see more and more blocks of higher volatility. I'm gonna discount this then. I am going to make a bet on higher volatility. Even if we get a drop off here, we'll likely pick back up on the weekly. What is we've been in some sort of a range here. Maybe it would make sense, this is actually a good case for it. It would make sense to take a look at the probability panel here to see what's more likely. Let's take 1.16 and 1.19 as an example. Did I do that backwards? Yeah, I did that backwards. %chance of downside below 1.16, 45% chance of staying within the range, and 35% chance of above it. This is over the next 30-day closures, so likely you stay within the range or go above it with the below target probability at 19%. Certainly can happen, don't get me wrong, but if I were to make a bet, I would make a bet on British pound being stronger than the euro over the next 30 days. What's the market doing? Well, let's see if the puts print. We're gonna have to give it some time. We're gonna have to give it yeah, until conditions change, essentially. Until conditions change or we get to some sort of probability. As the entropy is just starting here, the mom has just gone negative and the SSR is just picking up. Certainly, I think by the end of this week, maybe the beginning of next week, as we have 2 more trading days, we will get a much clearer picture from the XCM perspective, and see if any of this has changed over. Good way to judge where to buy is using mean from moments, like input marks later QMZ on mean. Yeah, so in terms of taking chances, you know, we can see moments powerful. Let's actually do that. I have featured moments on the stream before. So hopefully you guys are familiar with this. Put marks later QMZ on the mean. Yes. And the Marxilator is an oldie but a goodie. It has quite a lot of features on it. I also like how the indicators are coded to be able to give you more context on other indicators. Mean of z-score or z-score of mean. Let's take a look at. Let's put it on the moments. Can we do this? No, we can. Yeah, we can. Yeah, all right. Hopefully people can make this out on stream. Let me a little bit bigger. Okay, so what we're attempting to do here, the moments indicator is giving you the mean of the returns. Remember, there's no mean in price. All right, yeah, and we've put on the QMZ score on it in order to give us a little bit more context into it to see, hey, is this an extreme? It gives us a little bit better decision making here, as when it prints red, it's likely to be an extreme to the upside, and when it prints green, it's likely to be an extreme on the downside. This can result in some very, very powerful occurrences. Let's actually use the I know I'm historically cherry picking. It's not going to you know work out 100% of the time, but it's certainly better than not, and it's giving you relative information, allowing you to make better decisions. When you put this into context with other stuff, this can become very, very powerful. Certainly these are zones, not zones, excuse me. These are days that I'd want to be paying attention. We are getting a green reading on it now. It is not quite outside of the second band quite yet. It's not outside second band quite yet. You can also put the Bollinger Bands onto moments, probably the only good use for Bollinger Bands as far as I'm concerned. as price is random and it can continue going outside of your Bollinger Band for infinity. So good luck making decisions on that. Yeah, nice. Very powerful combination with those two. Very powerful combination. I want to build some more charts. It's just I've gotten so used to this trading setup, especially because most of my trades have been on volatility. You know, using options, I could probably just trade the HVP to be honest. I could probably like it's so fucking good. For getting exposure though, obviously the rest of the tools are extremely necessary, especially the new stuff that they're coming out with, like mutual information, featured on the last 2 streams, can certainly help us make better decision. Make sure the mean is 30, not 50. This is on the QMZ. Let me take a look. Yeah, it is 50. It is 50 by default. I'm gonna save this as default. You keep telling me this every single time, and every single time we have to go back. Ah, shit. 30, no, not 50. Trading and streaming is tough. You got to perform for people, hurts your trading. Yeah, absolutely. And also another thing is that, like, I put a decent amount of pressure on myself because I make my money from trading, not from streaming. And streaming definitely adds to the pressure, especially if you want to do something well. Like there's no point of doing something kind of half-assed. I don't think. It just and doing shit well requires time. It requires time. It requires dedication. Thank you so much, Dangerous, Mr. D. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, all or nothing. Exactly. And I also I want to make the stream extremely transparent, because a lot of the other streamers, like Krong for a while, did this thing where you know, he would post his trades, he would be very transparent, and then he very transparently likely lost his stack, and then he stopped posting his trades. I live and die by by my PNL. Like, you guys will see the whole story, win or lose. You know, you guys will see the whole story. Yeah, they like it's crazy. And the one promise I can absolutely make is I will never sell you a course, because that's not where your money should come from. Pay me 2K. My Twitch accounts are both suspended. What accounts do you have left? I feel like you have less accounts left than you than you that are banned. Oh man. Powerful deribit sessions. Yeah, we gotta get back onto deribit. We gotta start making more options plays. This B-Vol thing is I'm really not liking it. Let's take a look at the VIX while we're here. Oh, actually, let me go back to the HVP. Let's take a look at the VIX getting more random. Mom going positive here. The XCM is still printing reds and pretty damn high HVP read at 96. Let's see this on the weekly. Oh, the weekly's picking up. The weekly VIX is picking up. Not good. As long as this persists, if we cool off the daily, we can go for another juicer pump on the VIX. For what it's worth, 77 is within the probability. Can you imagine the fucking craziness that happens at 77? Let's see. The Rona dump was 82. The Rona dump was 82. 2018, we had a sell-off that only got to 47. Yeah, 52. 77 is gonna be crazy if it happens. Doing it how gamers do. Yeah, okay. I've been thinking about that. Like, gamers don't really perform for the show, they just game and people just look at it. Yeah, there is an aspect to that, but for that to happen, I need to be trading like the 1 minute, right? Because dead air is deadly to viewers. Like the goal should be to not provide you with any sort of time to get away, let's say, or like time to I mean, it's boring. I don't want to just watch dead air, you know, like it makes sense. Although trading the 1 minute, it kills me, man. Like I stop making sound decisions. That's the problem. I will expand the stream. Absolutely. I want to get into, like, because the point of this channel, right, like the point originally, like the reason why it's called calculating wealth is in order to actually calculate something, right? It's not to just trade or just do this. This is always going to be a part of it. We're always going to be using BA Pig tools. Absolutely. We're always going to be mindful of probabilities and be taking chances on them. But the point, what I wanted to do as well, was to actually calculate inflation properly, or attempt to calculate inflation properly, because nobody seems to have a grip on it. Like it's just such a place where responsibility's been abandoned that it first of all, it's a challenge to me. I think it would be fun for the stream, and it could also be useful, because then we could have like a unified inflation metric that they don't keep fucking with every single month, and then maybe that would allow us to make some decisions on assets as well. There's a bunch of papers out that I want to go over as well. So yeah, hopefully we get to do that in the future, and we will always be trading, though. We will always be trading. Jared told you all assholes about the massive move incoming 33-year time frame, bro. I'll be 150 when HE reaches 90th percentile. Yeah, exactly. Eric Weinstein rants about this. Yeah, exactly. And he's proposed some stuff that's way above my head at the current time, but I actually think that I could do a deep dive into it, and we could at least come at it from like a learning perspective and maybe figure something out. Eric Weinstein, man, I don't know. That guy's proposed some nutty stuff. Let me tell you that guy's proposed some nutty stuff. I like him a lot, but I still can't figure out whether he's like a legit guy or a CIA plant. The dismal economics, they call it dismal science for a reason. Yeah, I don't think it should be called science. There's very like, think back, I don't know if any of you guys took the economics classes. Random walk with BA Pig, welcome. When stream. Yeah, this is I don't know if you guys remember the economics class, if you've ever taken one, but all the shit they taught us was about like demand, supply, like price elasticity, and like none of it matters when your entire economy is built up of like banking, special drawing rights, fucking swap lines. Like none of the interesting stuff that is current gets taught. They teach you just some random theories that, okay, they have application, but it's not like, you know, you're gonna go make tons of money with it or even understand the financial system. They suffer with similar issues everywhere, dude. They suffer, like, except for math, like maybe engineering, although I'm not even qualified to speak on that. Like psychology, like fucking a lot of fields suffer with that. 85% words. Yeah, exactly. They are like philosophers. And it's crazy because they have such a massive platform, right? Like they have like, I was watching this chatting with traders guy today. This is a guy that goes out and chats with traders and does like podcasts on YouTube, and he's relatively successful, right, with the podcasting stuff. Makes good content, but like half of the stuff that's on there is fucking triangles and lines, and the other half is like, oh, keep a trading journal, or oh, your psychology is wrong. It's like what the fuck is psychology going to do for you? You look at randomness, and like, it's as if you're in the right state of mind, you can make right decisions about random shit. Like think about it for a second. It makes no fucking sense. You legit have to throw out also half the rules of thumb that are taught. Yeah, exactly. Visual geometry. Yeah. But they have far reach, you know. They have, like, most of the people entering this space or any space will go out there and be like, oh, look, this makes sense. These words are worth something. People are listening to them. Must be true. Then I'll go and make my own decisions that way. Like, fuck me, man. It sucks. It sucks how little fact there is. All right. Let's take a look at gold. How's Peter Schiff doing today? Not so hot. Not so hot. We should have been designing drugs with math. Yeah, we should have been doing a lot of I think a part of the problem is, like, well, there's a shitload of problem. Like, a big problem is like peer review shit. Another big problem is that math can be what is it, like, abstracted in way, like, this is the difference between physics and math, right? Like, they're essentially, they should be the same thing, but it's like shit that mathematicians figure out and give different names to, then appear in physics under different names way later. And if we had a way of connecting the two, that'd be powerful. Pfizer gets yeah, price has to go here, price has to go there, wave 4 times there, RSI. Voting. Yeah. Entropy moving lower on gold, HEP very low on daily, although declining on the weekly. SSR moving up, not a nice stand for gold. Could be looking at the start of a dip down here. Yeah, the peer review system makes no sense. It only appeared in like the 70s, I think. I hope I'm right on that. And it's like literally, okay, I come up with something good, then I have to send it to a random person arbitrarily, and then if it's just gatekeeping, like, and then it goes there, and if the guy doesn't like you or wants to steal your idea, he's just like, nah, that's not what it is. Like, they don't provide you with like anything that's like of value, right? They don't like critique it and say, hey, maybe like you made a mistake here or you made a mistake there. It's like, nah, it doesn't get accepted into society. Like, all right, that's dumb. Bitcoin moving down another 2%. By definition, the smart ones aren't gonna get votes. Yeah, exactly. And like, even if you look at the distribution, like, it's you know, genius is very sparse, whereas average and stupid is very common, you know. Yeah. All right, we will keep paying attention to this. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for making out to the stream. Go watch Dogman streams at the market close. The link is posted in the description of the stream. He does great streams on the tools, attempting to cover the concepts behind them from a learner's perspective. So if you are new here, it is highly recommended that you start out there, as this is more of just a trading stream. I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully the market does turn around, but if not, I am covered, and I'm long volatility on Bitcoin as well. Let's see if we can make something happen. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make lots and lots of money, and don't get liquidated. Let's see. Do we want to raid? Do we want to raid today? I'm going to keep asking you guys this, but the answer is always going to be yes. I hope you know that. I hope you know that this is a dictatorship. I'm a kind king. All right, let's take a look. Good fucking. All right.
Fatality.
It's live? No, this is not live. This is live. Jesus. Sorry. Jacob's copying again. Is he? Oh no. All right, we going rating. Have an awesome Wednesday. Good luck out there.